Insomnium is one of those Finnish bands that have been creating the Finnish melancholy into melodic language of metal. Gonna take a glimpse at this one. So a cruel unboxing will be done and sweet sound of plastic removed. Let's give this one a go. I'll be honest with you. I'm not exactly the guy who likes to listen too much melodic metal. That applies to many bands, not just some single bands here and there. However, I'll at least try to be open-minded when it comes to albums that I got here for reviews and whatnot, labels, bands, so forth. So, here's a positive thing to say. Insomnium's new album, Heart Like a Grave, is actually really good album. Not only in terms of in its particular genre, melodic metal, but also like overall. I'll start explaining while I do a little bit of unboxing here. First, we'll remove the ads put here by the label, pressing blunt, whatever, and let's take a look how it looks like without too much plastic reflection. So those of you who are not aware what kind of band Insomnium is, it could be just labeled Finnish melodic not black metal, melodic metal, melancholic metal maybe. My first, should we say, touch to the band, or when I first heard of the band was around 1999 in the city of Joensuu, where this band originated from. Back then I met this guy, through my girlfriend back then, who was, I think, one of the original members of Insomnium. However, he left a few years later, so not anymore in the band. Since those late 90s, quite a bit of the lineup has changed, and not for the worse, I guess. Still, some of the band members are one of those original ones, so it's not like the band is totally new, but it has gotten kind of renewed during the years, especially with I think one of the main members, more important members, is Markus Vanhala from Omnium Gatherum and other bands. But still, I think the original members are the ones that make Insomnium to be what it used to be. Also, longtime member Ville Danny hasn't been in the band for a few years anymore. So a lot of more or less key elements have changed through the years. But the thing here is, does it even matter? With certain bands, I think some bands are more or less crystallized in certain members, while some bands actually benefit of being kind of a, well, replacement would sound like kind of bad, but I mean when the lineup changes, it might actually do good for the bands. I don't know if that's the case with Insomnium, because like I said, it's not exactly my cup of tea when it comes to the particular genre. But that's beyond the point, because what actually matters is that this 61 minutes album is actually really good. Now, when we're talking about good melodic melancholic metal, what does it exactly even mean? A lot of people probably put melodic metal into bands like Gothenburg style from Sweden, that is In Flames, Dark Tranquility, and the like. And also, when we're talking about Finnish melodic metal, it could be meaning, bands like Amorphis or Sentenced, or in this case, Insomnium. However, Insomnium isn't exactly your typical melodic death metal. While we could say, yeah, it has its roots there because there are growly vocals with clean vocals as well, it's also all about this kind of a melancholic mindset. So some of those songs are like tapping into this kind of a fall vein of Finnish nature. Leaves are about to fall from the trees, plants start slowly decay and die, winds get colder and all that stuff. Basically, we are preparing for the winter time. And because winter is kind of like death, in kind of a metaphoric sense, it means also that autumn, this fall time, is like the phase where we're getting older and we are prepared to die. meet our end and all that stuff. And I think it's very, very fitting for this kind of music because this is not so much like super dark as some of the black metal or I don't know doom metal bands tend to be, but this is more like in the melancholic sense, like as if sadness has come to pass. And I think this is a great, great soundtrack for September, October, November feelings. You know, you start to look around and things are just kind of a cold and depressive even. However, this is not without hope. Those glimpses of hope are put around with some melodic guitar work as well as those clean vocals, especially by them. So it's more like, in my opinion, that is, it's more like balancing the negative and the positive, to kind of a sadness and yet also hope. So it's not all about just, flirting with despair and all that stuff. Now, obviously, all my words won't make sense to you unless you hear the actual music. So I totally urge you to check out the band if this is not totally not my cup of tea kind of a release. To my surprise, I must say, Heart Like a Grave is a strong album, nicely produced, and I think the band is going upwards. That is, they're, gonna pave more success in their way. And at least with this kind of album, why the hell not? This is probably more mainstream than many of other bands here on my channel, but who cares? I mean, it doesn't matter if an album is good. It doesn't matter if it's underground or mainstream. What matters is that good music makes your life better. So with these words, go check out the samples, and of course I hope you like this album as well. See ya. More Rauta reviews coming your way.